Can you see messages coming in my chat?
Oh man, how do I stop this?
Yeah. Um, I don't know. Let me check. Shall I turn off the notification?
I've turned the
Let
volume.
Sorry?
Hi, Rishika, we're about to start. So, welcome everyone to another session of Encora Elements, where we share free knowledge. This is our way of giving back to society, where we have our own employees who come and give special use cases. Today, we have a very special webinar. For those of you all who are working on Power BI, you definitely need Microsoft Fabric. And we have Rushika, who is here to give us a clear and in-depth view into Microsoft Fabric and how we tie everything together once we finish our apps using Power BI. Rushika has 8 years of experience. She's been with Encora for some time now. She loves to travel and she loves to learn new technologies all the time. So without wasting any more time, I'm going to hand this over to Rushika. Rushika, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, David, for a wonderful introduction.
Rushika, you're on mute, I think.
Oh, am I on mute? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yes. So, hello everyone. This is Rishika here. Today we are going to discuss on Microsoft Fabric, a unified data analytics platform. Um, First of all, let me give introduction of myself. Just a minute. Yes. Um, My name is Rishika. I'm senior software engineer at Encora. I love to speak and write about technology. For the visualization tools, as David has said, that I have 8+ years of experience in this data field. I'm really good at Power BI, Looker Studio, and Tableau. Some good amount of knowledge in Excel as well. For the base management tools, I play around with Fabric and SSMS. For migration tools, I have experience in Matillion. So, what this seminar is for, first of all. So, anyone who is a data analyst, a Power BI developer, um, would require Microsoft Fabric, as it is end-to-end. It provides end-to-end solution for all data engineers, data analysts, and data scientists in one platform. So of course, those are added. Plus database administrator, because we have warehouse. So of course, the security purposes for the administrative part of database gets involved as well. Solution architect, because we have pricing involved in Fabric, touching different integration processes, making sure that the workflow is robust. For that, we need solution architect. So that is needed for in Microsoft Fabric as well, and manager and director. Agenda of this session will be divided into three parts. First of all, we are going to see a case study. We are going to see how a company in USA, which is a made-up example, by the way, that company, how is using their architecture in order to streamline data processes, and how Fabric plays a role in that. So that's going to be a case study. Second section we are going to cover is provide overall each experiences that Fabric is giving us. So we will go one by one and see their use case scenarios and which entity, for example, data engineers or data scientists or data analysts, who all are using that specific use cases. We are going to see that. And second, the last one is summary points. We are going to see how one can be Fabric engineer and which examination in Microsoft provides that certification. We are going to discuss that and end this session. So let's get started. So let's start with the case study first. We can see here that Elios Electronics is a USA-based company. What it does, it ships electronic parts all around the world. It focuses on innovation and data-driven decision. It has 1,000+ employees. The central data department has 100+ employees. So those are taking care of end-to-end pipelines. They have invested in Azure, AWS, and Power BI reporting. Now their architectural look like this, where they have customer success team, data engineering team, IT team, data science team, and manufacturing team. How they are transforming, how they are getting the insights from data added to one point to Power BI is given in the below steps. So step one is in the website, they have a customer feedback loop where customer leaves a product review, whether it's thumbs up, thumbs down. They have a feedback window as well, where they can add certain review on the service that the company has, Elios has provided. So that has been added here. That data goes to Azure SQL database. What happens in step 2 is data is stored in the database and it's managed by customer success team. Now in the step 3, what happens is that stored data goes to data engineers, and they copy that data, and they have certain pipelines where they are making the data ready for data scientists by performing ETL actions. So the step 3 says the data engineers have built-in data pipeline that copies this data every morning to data lake for data scientists to analyze. In step 4, this data scientist who have got data from data engineers now have time to build ML models, and from that or they have already built that model and they feed that data into that ML models, and then it can give predictive analysis as well as whether it's thumbs up or thumbs down through those feedback from the step 1, and basically get that result ready. Now that result will be, of course, in multiple millions of rows. So how to show that? So in Power BI, that data is fed into where the end user will see that data through different visualization and make decision properly. So in the company of Elios, they are using so many products, as you can see. We have Azure Data Factory, Azure Event Hubs, Blob Storage, Lake Services, SQL Database, Synapse Analytics, Databricks, and Azure ML, as well as Power BI. So what happens is they have data silos in each of the segments. Now, what is data silos? That comes to mind first. So that's an independent data source or database that is not connected within different departments. So as we saw here, customer success team would have data, but it's not interacting with manufacturing team, nor it is interacting with the product team. So what is happening is here we are getting the data from customer success team and then giving it to through different processes by copying the data. Most importantly, that's a problematic area. From silos of customer success team, we are feeding the data to product team where they are going to make business informed decisions. So you see why it would be a problem, because it copies the data multiple times. And the data format would change because, for example, product team would need some other kind of data, some other format of the data, and it changes throughout the each storage format. The user experience change, the access controls change because each person would have either admin access or developer access in the licensing system. Security would change as well because some data would be sensitive, and till which layer it should be given to Power BI. That is also a question needs to be answered. Then governance, because why governance takes place is each of the tools have different pricing, and that needs to be taken care of properly along with the security measures. And last of all, monitoring, making sure that the data making sure that we know what is going to be the end price of each of these modules, plus estimate that how much data is going to be added into the model each month, and then forecast the pricing as well. So it's redundant data which is creating a lot of pain to stabilize as well as make a use out of it. So how uh, Elios has done is organically created this structure, which is not bad. But if we add Fabric into it, what happens is data ingestion. So Fabric has this different tools that we can use. So what is Fabric basically? So Fabric includes all these tools into one platform, which is Microsoft Fabric. It has Data Factory, real-time analytics, Lakehouse, data warehouse, KQL database, data engineering, data science, and Power BI. We are going to see each of them in a short time. But what we can see here is data ingestion can be done through Fabric Data Factory and real-time analytics. Data storage can be done through lakehouses, data warehouse, KQL database. Data engineering, data science teams can use their PySpark, R language, Python through Notebook, and they can create ML models as per the need through data engineering and data science segment. And BI can be done, which is business intelligence, through Power BI, where we can see the data, create reports from that, and make a concentrated dashboard to showcase it to the end user. So here, um, everything is included. You can see that there is a role for in Fabric, there is a role of data engineering, as well as data science team, and then data analyst. So it is, everything can be done basically in one platform, which is fabulous. Let's see each component one by one. So what is data factory? So data factory, what generally it means is we have a data, and that is, let's say, customer success team data, and I don't want data. So I have data from 2016 till now. I don't want data beyond before 2021. So ETL performance operations, which is extract, transform, and load, can be done through Data Factory, and make sure that that data is ready for a data science team to perform next actions. So the core purpose is moving and transforming your data, a set of tools that help you do ETL operations. Fabric components that use this is data flow and data pipeline. Similar to, so what Data Factory is similar to is Azure Data Factory. If you have worked on Azure Data Factory, Synapse Pipelines, Power BI Data Flow Gen 1, you would be aware of how Data Factory works. It also helps, I'll show you one screenshot. It gives a similar view of Power Query. If you have used Power BI, you would know this, or Excel as well, where you get Power Query option through in Data Factory, where you can choose to keep rows, basically modeling of data, where you can append, merge the data together, tables together. You can keep rows or bifurcate columns through any delimiter if that is there, and perform next level of data modeling in order to slice and dice the data to get the right predictions and let that data be ready for data science team. So data flows enable you to leverage more than 300 transformations in the data flow designer, letting you transform data easier with more flexibility than any other tool, including smart AI-based data transformations. Data pipeline enables you to leverage the out-of-the-box orchestration capabilities to compose flexible data workflows that meet your enterprise need. So basically, we have, for example, sales data, but we want to get insights of it by merging that data, that sales data, through marketing campaign. For example, I want to know that how sales of last year, Diwali 2023, has gone up through certain campaign that Elios Technologies have done. So that combination can be done through Data Factory, where we can merge that data, of course, chop it up as per the need, and then get the results that we are looking for. How do we do that? So this is the screenshot of it, where you can select, here is the Power BI interface, Microsoft Fabric interface, where you can select the data flow, get your data source, and then, as I've shown you already, start slicing and dicing the data. The next one is Synapse Data Warehouse. So it works basically like a warehouse. We're going to see how those terms play a role in specifically Microsoft Fabric. But yes, the concept of it is basic a warehouse where you can perform DDL and DML operations. So it's a Fabric workspace. A Synapse Data Warehouse is labeled as a warehouse in the type column, where you need the full power and transactional capabilities of DDL and DML. Basically, we can write a SQL to get the transformation that we need in order to get the data. Core purpose of it is provides a familiar transactional data warehouse solutions with tables, schemas, views, and stored procedures. It's unbelievable that we can store our data, perform our SQL queries, get our stored procedures done, get the data ready for next stage of data scientist or data analyst, and they can take that data directly from Power BI and connect to the warehouse. It's amazing. Which Fabric component it uses? Of course, data warehouse. How it is similar? So if you know SQL Server, SSMS, or Snowflake, you would be good to go in order to use data warehouse in Fabric. Who is it for? So main personas include database administrator, data engineers, and data analysts. This is how it would look. So to create a warehouse, it's a lot of effort. It takes 20 to 40 minutes in other platforms, but in Microsoft Fabric, you can just click, and then create that warehouse, and it would be ready to be used for the all the analysis part. Next is Synapse Data Engineering. So the core purpose of it is enables user to design, build, and maintain infrastructure systems that enable their organization to collect, store, and transform data. So which Fabric components it's using? So it's using Lakehouse, Notebook, and Spark Job. Now Lakehouse, what is Lakehouse is Lakehouse is a platform where we can save structured and unstructured data. So warehouse has a capability to store structured data, where it would be tables, views, stored procedures, etc., etc. But in Lakehouse, we can add images, files, folders, everything that is unstructured, and we can just dump all the organizational data into Lakehouse and then start building and then refining it to further more data warehouses or automatic systems through data pipelines. Whatever we need to do, where we do that from is Lakehouse. So it's a basic structure and unstructured data dump. So, yes. With Synapse Data Engineering, Microsoft aspire to streamline the process of working with your organizational data. Instead of wasting cycles on integration tags of wiring together collection of products, worrying about spinning up, managing infrastructure, stitching together disparate data sources, we want data engineers to focus on the job that needs to be done. This is 100% correct, because when you have a problem of data integration, you have to check multiple data validation check that needs to be done. Format of columns needs to be proper in order to integrate multiple softwares into one, and then refine that and make it ready for the next stage. With Microsoft Fabric, you do not have to worry about 4 or 5 data sources integration. How do we do that? Nothing. You can just dump your data into Lakehouse and start building up from there. So here's one good example where R scripting has been used, Python has been used in order to get visuals. Here we can use R, this supports Python, PySpark, and R language as well. There is another third. So there are basically 3 languages that supports in Notebook. So what is the difference between Lakehouse, Warehouse, and Data Mart? So let's go one by one. So lakehouse is the most first stage of data, where I have said that it's a combination of structured and unstructured data. So that is our lakehouse. Where it is used is it has been used by data engineers. The next more refined version, where we would have systematic view of the data, where it would be tables, views, and store procedures, will be called as warehouse, where database developer will and administrator will take care of that warehouse. And if we have warehouse of all the organizational data, if we want to more refine it, for example, we have finance data, and then we want from that data, we want to bifurcate HR finance, where HR employees are added, marketing team finance, and then sales team finance. That can be done through data marts, where each component is specialized in that data field, and then we can save that warehouse data into that. So what who will use data mart to? So it will be purely used by data analyst. For example, I am a data analyst, I would directly go to the selective options from Power BI to connect to the data mart, respective data marts that I need, and start building my report from there. It says the same thing here as well. Data mart is for citizen data analysts. Data mart is an environment where you can load data using Power BI data flows. Data flows is nothing but operations added into through Power Query and M language to create data flows. The knowledge that you need to work in that environment is in through Power Query and Power BI. These skills are that a Power BI developer has in the belt. Data warehouse is for database developer, where they can perform different SQL operations to get the data ready for the next stage. So because of the powerful SQL endpoint of the warehouse, the best outcome from it is achieved when a database developer works with it. In addition to working with data pipelines and data flows, the database developer can write SQL query commands or commands to change the data and even the data structure, just like how we do it in Snowflake. We would create, modify, edit tables, create procedures. Everything that we do there can be done here. Lakehouse is for data engineers. Sorry. Lakehouse is for data engineers. You can use data pipelines and data flows to load the data into Lakehouse, where we can dump all the data. However, you can use Notebook and Spark job definitions. These two use language such as Spark, Scala, and Python. These languages work with notebooks, are usually in skill set area of a data engineer or a data scientist. So this can be used by data engineers in order to modify the data as per the need, which is dumped into Lakehouse. Synapse data science, this is the next segment in Fabric. So end-to-end machine learning workflow can be done. So from the data that has been given by data engineers, the data scientists can explore model scoring. What is model scoring is data scientists have fed the data into ML models that they have created, and they are running tests on that. The model score means that they have tested they are testing the ML model with the data that it hasn't seen, to score it. So that score, that how much it predicts the model the predictions correctly, that is what is called model score. And the higher the score, the higher the reliability of ML models created by data scientists. So how it can be done is they use, of course, data scientists to use R and Python in notebooks, data wrangler for easy analysis. So we have very much complex data in some of the cases. In order to make it much smaller in digestible pieces for ML models, data wrangling is used. Model tracking, use ML flow to track and compare model experiments and run. As I have said, different experiments run through ML models, which is called to gauge the score of model score. Save the best performing models as a new item in the workspace. Once that ML model is perfectly fine, it goes through all the quality checks that can be utilized for future analysis. Best scoring, use predict for best scorings of data at scale. Integration with Fabric stack. Seamlessly score data in Lakehouse, write predictions back to OneLake through ML models. Visualize predictions using direct lake mode in reports. So whatever data science team has gone through, it can be directly, that data can directly be connected through Power BI to gauge the data and predict what's going to happen next. Which items Fabric is used in Fabric it is used for is notebook and ML models experiments. Okay, so this is another example of that, where we can, from Power BI, we can select data science. And here you can see a notebook section where the code has been added through Python, and then you get the plotting of visualization here. Next is Synapse real-time analytics. So what happens is whenever we are watching Netflix, we get live streaming that has been done at the endpoint. So that real-time analytics, where we are dumping millions and millions of the rows at the same time. For example, if I want to see how many burgers McDonald's are eating all over the India, then it's going to be live streaming of data, which can be done through Fabric. It increasingly accumulate, sorry, pardon my pronunciation, to interactive on-demand data access. Examples: streaming movies, as I've said, online food and grocery orders. Expectation for real-time data accessibility can be done from here. Drivers of this shift are big data, streaming data ingestion, indexed and keyword-based search, which can be done, and optimization even in those results can be done through Synapse real-time analytics. Simplified user experience, but presents challenges for organizations. So what happens is, when we have such a large set of data, to get real-time analytics, it can be quite problematic, where the ingestion of the data as well as partitioning of it to make the visualization ready real time is a challenge, which can be solved through real-time analytics. Yes, lack of appropriate tools to manage data effectively. Solutions provided by Synapse real-time analytics simplifies the data ingestion, scales analytic solutions. Since it is real-time analytics, it is going to be big data. Democratizes data access for all users, from data scientists to advanced data engineers. Key features of real-time analytics: it automates data streaming, indexing and partitioning, and auto-generated queries and visualization with the help of Copilot. Here, this can be done very easily. Maintains powerful analytical capabilities. How it can be optimized: so designed for streaming and time series data, utilizes a high performance query language and engine, efficiently searches structured, semi-structured and unstructured data. So it runs through Lakehouse as well to get the visualization and queries to be done. Here's an example of that, where you can see that live streaming of data, which is scale DXT, is done, and we are getting a live stream of data, and we can see how much GB it is, the original size, and compression also. So what happens is, when we have large size of data, it uses Parquet files, if anyone is aware. So we have CSV files and TXT files, but this specifically uses Parquet files, where it is compromised in overall size. That is why it is able to stream such a large chunk of data fastly. And this is where my playfield is. This is Power BI. So the core purpose of Power BI is Microsoft's BI tool that allows you to create reports, present visuals, insights to business users. It can be used. Power BI service is a good component of it, where we can share our reports, our dashboards, and add triggers. For example, if my marketing leads are less, if it gets less than 70 in a day, then it should trigger one email to me. So those kind of specific KPI related triggers through emails can be done through Power BI service. And of course, it has different licensing, Pro, Premium, and PPU. As well as different segments that is added in Power BI service. So everything can be done through here. It also includes semantic model as well as reporting services. If you are at all aware about Tableau and Looker, you would be very comfortable to start with Power BI. I have worked on all three, and I can let you know that if you know one, other two are just like a similar language. You just have to comprehend party A to party B. That is how I would express it, knowing all three tools. So who Power BI, who is the user of Power BI? So it's a business user, Power BI developers like me, data analyst. We use it thoroughly in order to generate report. Here you can see that satisfaction score of customer has been said. Here we have added a target score where it's showing yellow. That means that it's it's lower. So we have high target and low target. If it's middle, if it reaches the main target, then it's going to be in red color or green color. If it's below the lower target, it's going to be red, and in the middle it will be yellow. So yellow shows that. And then here you can check cases by product and week. Score distribution is seen here. We can see how different charts have been created in Power BI. As a developer, I can share one good tip that if use minimalization tools, minimalization technique, be a minimalist basically in order to create your dashboard where you can use color theory, where here the blue and orange, which are complementary colors, which are added here to create good presentation, as well as other colors are light, where you can see that there is space added. So this is a good dashboard. Like this, we can capture end users' attention to help them to make business-driven decisions. Okay, so let's say that I'm good at Microsoft Fabric, then how I can get certification of that? So there is a DP 600 exam provided by Microsoft Fabric. This is what I'm preparing now. I'm Power BI certified, and this is my next target for 2024, where you can be Fabric Analytics Engineer Associate, and this certification is valid for 1 year. For every year, we have to give examination in order to keep it. This is a link for getting started with Microsoft Fabric. It has lots of updates, and it changes very quickly. So it's good to always be up to date with new changes provided. That's gonna be everything from my end. Any questions?
We don't have any questions, Rushika.
Okay.
You know, if questions come later, we can always come back and answer it.
Okay, lovely. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for joining. And thank you so much, Rushika, for preparing and presenting to us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.